Hi, this is Dr. Otto, Janke, and thank you for being with me today on the Mad Health Podcast. So today we're going to take a dive into one of my favorite things to talk about is people who are doing a shitload of drugs. I'm serious about that. Let's talk about Tiger Woods once again. A short time ago, we talked about Tiger Woods and his downfall in his prescriptive problems he was having, the pain medications he was on. So this happened a short time ago that Tiger Woods was found intoxicated while driving. The crazy thing about that was that when he blew the breathalyzer for alcohol, it came up as 0.00, not a drop of alcohol in his body. So why was he pulled over? Well, because he was driving erratically and he was a freaking mess. And here is what he was on. Now check this out. He was on Vicodin, Dilaudid, Xanax, Ambien, and THC. And he was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence. Suspicion? Suspicion of driving under the influence? You got to be freaking kidding. Suspicion of driving under the influence. He pleaded guilty to reckless driving and agreed to enter a diversion program that will allow him to have his record wiped clean if he completes the program. Now that there's no longer an active criminal investigation, they made the toxicology results available. And our copy was obtained by ESPN. I'll leave the link down there for you. According to the report, the drugs in Wood's system were hydrocodone, the generic form of a painkiller brand as Vicodin. You have to assume that's from his low back pain, his back surgery. Got to assume that. Hydromorphone, a strong painkiller commonly known as Dilaudid. So he's on hydrocodone and hydromorphone. The first thing you got to ask is, holy crap. That's a lot of not feeling going on in your body. How much pain are you in? You got to ask this question. I'm going to ask this a couple of times during this podcast, but how addicted is he? He's got to be addicted to something along the way with this. He's got to be. It's not even a question anymore. Alprazolam, a mood and sleep drug. I'm pretty bad at drug names, aren't I? Weed. How about that? Can you just say weed? Alprazolam, a mood and sleep drug commonly known as Xanax. And the drug they found in his body was the alpha-hydroxy alprazolam, which is what Xanax becomes when it breaks down in your system. So he's got that on, which is a mood and sleep drug. He's got zolpidem, a sleep drug commonly known as Ambien. So he has two. He's got two major painkillers in the hydrocodone and hydromorphone, the Vicodin and Dilaudid. He's got two major sleep drugs, Xanax and Ambien, in his body also. Then delta-9 carboxy-THC, the active ingredient in marijuana. So he was smoking some weed along the way too. Dude, wow. It's not known if Woods had prescriptions for all the medications. Are you kidding me? He didn't have prescriptions for all those? They didn't know that? After the arrest in the early hours of May 29th, Woods checked into a clinic in June to get help dealing with the prescription drugs and announced last month that he had completed treatment. As I've previously said, I received professional help to manage my medications. This was managing? Wow. Recently, I had been trying on my own to treat my back pain and sleep disorder, including insomnia, but I now realize it was a mistake to do this without medical assistance. I'm continuing to work with my doctors and feel I've made significant progress. I remain grateful for the amazing support that I continue to receive and for the family and friends that are assisting me. Woods, who fell asleep at the wheel and was observed by police with his car pulled over on a road near his home in Jupiter, Florida. He failed multiple field sobriety tests, but also blew 0.00 on a breathalyzer after being taken into custody. Wow. Now check this out. Let's go through this one more time. Hydrocodone, which is Vicodin, hydromorphone, a strong painkiller commonly known as Dilaudid, the alprazolam, or prazolam, Xanax, and the Ambien. So he had 2 sleep drugs in his body at the time. Did they say what time he was arrested? In the early hours of May 29th. So does it mean early in the morning or really late at night? Bad report on this one. You guys should have told us that. Did they tell us up front? Well, they don't tell us up top. So he's got 2 major painkillers in his body, which you got to assume is from his low back, his chronic low back condition, and 2 sleep drugs, 2 major sleep drugs, and then weed. No THC. We can't say it's marijuana. It's the active ingredient marijuana, but he might have had similar stuff he used. Might have been, I don't know what. Medical marijuana is legal in Florida. Oh, so there you go. So he had all prescriptions. So it looks like he had all these prescriptions in him. Not sure if they had prescriptions for all of them, but looks like he had prescriptions for all these because medical marijuana is legal in Florida. So the first question I always have is this. Is this really the best we got? Is this really the best we can do? When Tiger Woods can afford all the best care. He's got a lot more cash than you and me, all of us together. And is this really the best we got? Is that Tiger Woods has 5 medications in him. And 2 of them, the hydrocodone and hydromorphone, are the same thing, given twice. And then you have the Xanax and the Ambien. Mood and sleep drug and a sleep drug. So he's got 2 of the same drugs already in his body. The first one didn't work as well, so we have to kick it up a notch with one that's even stronger. See, the big problem I have all with this is that this is a drug society we live in that we will drug the piss out of you, literally drug everything out of you until you can feel nothing anymore. You feel nothing anymore. Let's be realistic about this. We are very, very lucky that Tiger didn't kill himself. More importantly, didn't drive into a bunch of people. I mean, he's in Jupiter in Florida, which is it's major highways all through there. Even if you're on the A1A or, what if he was on 95? We're lucky he didn't plow into people and he may not have even known he was even doing this. We're not sure he even knew that he was even driving. This is the scary part. That we think that in our drug society, we think this is an applicable way for healthcare. Next month, we're going to start rolling out information about chiropractic in New York State and how we're going to be able to help people. And I've brought this up before because in my small community in upstate New York, in a very rural area of New York State, there's meth and opioid problems, mainly induced by work comp, but we'll go into that another time. And the research has come out on this from JMPT, the Journal of Manipulative Physiological Therapy, 2016, May of 2016. From the Dartmouth Institute for Health Policy and Clinical Practice in Lebanon, New Hampshire, at Dartmouth, the cross-sectional analysis of per capita supply of doctors of chiropractic and opioid use in younger Medicare beneficiaries. The purpose of the study was to determine whether the per capita supply of doctors of chiropractic, DCs, or Medicare spending on chiropractic care was associated with opioid use among younger, disabled Medicare beneficiaries. The conclusion: a higher per capita supply of DCs and Medicare spending on CMT, which is chiropractic manipulative therapy. That's what we do. You spend more on chiropractors and what we do. It was inversely associated with younger disabled Medicare beneficiaries obtaining an opioid prescription. Let me say that again because it's kind of confusing right there. Simply, you spend more money on us doing what we do best, and the younger guys going on opioids decreases. That's what they say. Was inversely associated with younger disabled Medicare beneficiaries obtaining an opioid prescription. They no longer needed it. I would have to make the assumption somewhere along the way that Tiger Woods could afford my $40 adjustment. I'd like to think so. I think it's reasonable and customary. Matter of fact, I think my price is a little bit low. But I think that Tiger Woods could afford it. He could afford probably to come into his house and take care of him in his house, a couple times a week. But the best we got for Tiger Woods is to be whacked and driving. But it's prescription medications. A short time ago, if you go back and listen to some of the podcasts early on, I talk about how the Kaiser Foundation in 2015 stated that the average American, man, woman, and child, the average, me, you, everybody, the average American filled 13 prescriptions, almost 13 prescriptions a year. Came out to be 12.8, 12.9. I rounded up to 13. 13 prescriptions a year. The first question you got to be asking is, holy shit, are you kidding me? Because I take no medications. I was on a phone call with 3 other docs this morning, as I do every Tuesday morning. 3 of us. There's 4 of us. 4 of us. Between the 4 of us, not one medication we're on. That means we got a whole bunch of other people jacking up on our 15, 20 different medications to make up for our none. We got some people on 24, 26 medications. Holy crap. This is the problem. This is the problem. A healthcare system who believes we're going to medicate the crap out of everything. And we are losing that game. It's not even close. We are getting our asses kicked on this game. We're getting our asses kicked on this game. And we have a society, we have, just as the pharmacological industry has always wanted, you have kids growing up younger and younger on more and more medications. I can't tell you the number of young ladies in my office who come in who are on anxiety and antidepressive medications. And my question's always a time to them. My question always is to them. Are you depressed? Or are you anxious? And they always say this to me. Well, I don't know. But I'm different when I'm not on the medications. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. And my question to them is, very lovingly and pointed, what do you eat? Because when I eat well, not a lot, when I eat well, the big green leafy stuff, the natural stuff that Mother Nature has, I do better. How much do you exercise? I was in the gym this morning, hitting it hard, sweating like a bulldog in August. When I exercise, I do better. I think better. I come in here, I pump out these podcasts. When I wrote my book, I would go exercise hard for 45 minutes, be able to plow through 2-3 hours of writing. So I asked these young ladies, how much do you exercise? What do you eat? How much time do you spend talking with someone about this? None. All 3 of those. None. What's your diet like? Typical college diet, which sucks. Absolutely sucks. I'd be pissed off if I was a college student and this is the stuff they're giving me. It's bad. It's not even healthy stuff. I know the college is dry. They're not even close. I'm in Cortland, New York. SUNY Cortland, which is boom, right over there. And they have incredible gyms there, incredible health facilities. I work out at one. It's incredible. Top of the line, state of the art, top of the line. And you're like, it's the gym's right there. It's free for you guys to use. How much are you exercising? Well, why would you exercise when you can get this shit to actually change the way you feel? No wonder you're sluggish. No wonder you want to sleep more. Vicodin, Dilaudid, Xanax, Ambien, and THC. This is the problem. This is the mad part of mad health that I am. That makes me mad. This is the shit that makes me mad, because this is we have people who think that this is the best we got, who are writing prescriptions for this shit all the time. Do you think Tiger has one MD writing this stuff, or a couple? And if he has a couple, are they communicating? Are they? If they're not, why aren't they? Wow. Tiger's had 4 surgeries on his back starting in the spring of 2014, the most recent being fusion surgery. Here's what happened with fusion surgery. Is that other parts of his spine are not going to work correctly because it fused that area. It's called adjacent segment syndrome. Look it up. So you fuse this area, the one above and the one below have to compensate, and they start to move too much, and they start to decay incredibly fast. Guess what happens then? More medications. What a beautiful little fucking train that is, isn't it? What a beautiful train. Wow. This is the mad part of mad health that I have. This is the mad part. This is the pissed me off part of Mad Health Podcast. Is that we have a generation, we have a society, we have an industry which is trying to get you to do all the fucking drugs, man. All of them. All in the name of you being healthier. I've never had one person come into my office, who wanted to be on more medications. Not one. I've seen hundreds of thousands of spines under my hands. Hundreds of thousands of spines. I've been practicing for 25 years. Not one person's ever said, man, this chiropractic stuff is pretty good, but if you can get me on a couple more meds, that'd be awesome. Then I could rock. 13 medications don't make you healthier. Never was. I'm Dr. Otto Janke. Thank you for being with me on the Mad Health Podcast. I'll leave a link down there for you to take a look at the article. But join me next time. And remember, every day, make your health just a little mad.